Sir, Ravi Kumar sir,
Yes, sir.
you disable annotation. Somebody is trying to do
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I have done it.
Hmm. It's your mouse, huh? Pointer.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
No, no, I have not done. Somebody else.
Hmm.
I think
Mozam or if no audio.
still no audio.
Yeah, they are complaining. Sandeep.
It is clear, sir. For somebody, it is clear. Maybe there and only there is an issue, I think. Please check your device. Okay, you have given it. It is audible, sir.
Yeah, it is very clear.
Okay, friends, we will go with the class. If so, credit policy basically you must understand what is a credit policy first before I am going into the subject. Latest circular is 39 bar 2021. See why this credit policy bank will issue every year. This is very important thing. First, we should understand. See, banks are always controlled by your regulator, Reserve Bank of India and Government of India. When Government of India wants to issue some guidelines to bank, or Reserve Bank of India wants to issue some guidelines to bank, so these things will be conveyed to Canara Bank top management. So top management, how to inform to the lower people like branch and all these things, circle officers, ROs. So this is the concept called credit policy. From this credit policy, bank will inform to all their branches, especially branches. So this is the policy. This is the government wants us to do. So we have to do like this. So like this, the credit policy will help the organization top management to reach the bottom level people, and they should understand what is the credit policy of the bank before touching any credit related proposals also. Okay, so in the credit policy they talk on MSME. For example, I will tell you, I have taken a class on priority, right? These priority guidelines have come in 685 bar 2021 circular. After that, 39 bar 21 is the latest credit policy. In this credit policy, if you go in priority sector, whatever Reserve Bank told to Canara Bank, all these guidelines are incorporated in this credit policy. Why? Because Reserve Bank told Canara Bank to follow these guidelines with regard to priority. Now, how Canara Bank top management will convey to branches through circular in between they have given, because it is implemented from 4th September 2020, correct? So 4th September, immediately they issued a circular. This is the RBI circular. So we have to follow these guidelines. In the next credit policy, they will update everything. Okay. Credit policy is the Bible for us when we are doing any credit related decisions when we are taking. So in the credit policy, government directions, RBI expectations, everything bank will convey to the bottom level people. Okay. We have to comply. If at all you want to comply as an officer or manager, you must read credit policy once, and every time when it is get updated, we must read it. And in between, whatever circular comes, any amendments, changes, those things also we have to get updated for effectively working in the branch, and also to know what our management is expecting from us, what RBI is expect policy. Now I am going to the policy. See, this master policy, any policy in our bank, annually only updated. First important point. Then who is responsible in our bank with regard to CRM policy? This is called CRM. See, one section is there. That section is responsible for overseeing implementation. Whether it is implementing every credit risk management policy, implementation part, CRMC is responsible. Okay, and it will provide recommendations whatever next year or whenever the changes come. CRMC will recommend to RMCB. This is called risk management committee of the board. Okay, in this board, who are already available? This RMCB board, risk management committee of the board, will contain board of directors. Okay, this they will approve this every year. They will approve the policy. Then only this policy will come to us. Okay, this board is headed by our MD CEO, executive directors, and three other directors of the bank. Okay, this is only for academic purpose. I don't think they may ask one question. It may implement annually, and who is responsible for implementation? CRMC, and CRMC is recommending. Okay, and risk management committee board will approve annually release this policy. This policy will contain 4 chapters. When you see this circular, this was bifurcated into 4 categories. One is CRM policy, everything policy part it will tell. Then they will tell collateral management policy, what type of collateral securities we can take. When we take some, when we are sanctioning some loan, what type of collateral we have to take, they will tell in collateral management policy. MSMEs, when we are financing to MSMEs, what is the policy of the bank, they will tell. There is a third category. And last category is off balance sheet exposure. Off balance sheet exposure means whatever is coming, not coming in the balance sheet. On the balance sheet footnote, we write something. See, in the balance sheet, we say capital, liabilities, assets, but non-fund based advance like LCs, bank guarantees, that will not be a liability to the bank at this stage because we are giving a guarantee only now. So they will write in the footnote all these bank guarantees, LCs. But once this bank guarantee or LC is devolved means, for example, I gave a guarantee to L&T on behalf of one of my customer. L&T has invoked the guarantee because my customer has not performed the work. What happens? Then I have to make the payment to L&T. For that, I will liquidate that. That is called devolving of bank guarantee. Immediately, I will debit my account and I will pay to L&T. Then automatically that guarantee became a fund-based liability to my bank. So that is called, then it is a balance sheet exposure. Till the time when they are on the bottom of, we can say, footnote of the balance sheet, we call it as off balance sheet exposure only. Okay. These things are covered in credit management policy. Okay. Now, what is meant by default? Default is nothing but if account becomes NPA, that will be called as default. That's all. Okay. What is meant by probability of default? If in within 1 year horizon, if you are expecting there is a probability of default by the borrower, that will be called as probability of default. These two terminologies we have to understand. Risk rating. First, we should know what is a risk rating. Whenever, especially we are financing MSME advances, we will do risk rating of that borrower. Means, for example, one excess come to my branch, I will first risk rate him. After risk rating means credit risk rating. Whatever credit I am giving to that borrower, how much risk I am having. For example, you are financing to a good borrower, best borrower in the market. Generally, he will get low risk based on his financial parameters. You can see his age, everything will be taken. One format will be there. That format branch manager officer will fill. Based on that, that account will be decided whether it is a low risk customer. Low risk means very low risk in that customer, very good customer is. Then comes normal risk. Little bit risk is there. Moderate, some good risk is involved. High risk means very high risk is involved. Their name itself it says high risk. If anybody got low and low, normal, moderate, okay, branch manager can take some decision. But when it comes to high risk, branch manager is not having any power. Not only branch manager, ROCO also will not have any power. For high risk accounts, only board, CAC of board. CAC stands for Credit Approval Committee of the board. This will be in head office. This board is only having powers to sanction any loan who is getting high risk. Okay. They may ask high risk accounts who can sanction. Okay. CAC of the board can sanction. Then asset categorization. Asset categorization they have done on 6 as per IRB guidelines. They have categorized into 6. What are they? One is corporate asset categorization. One is bank. Another is sovereign. Another is retail. And 5th one is equity. And 6th one is others. They have categorized assets into 6 categories, and these are the names of that asset categorization. Now coming to MCLR. While you are working in bank, you might have heard base rate, MCLR, RLLR, all these things, right? So MCLR was started in our bank. Reserve Bank of India gives guidelines about this. From 1/4/2016, all new loans will be connected to MCLR. Now coming to one more rate you are hearing recently is RLLR. RLLR stands for Repo Linked Lending Rate. Please remember, generally we give 3 types of loans. One is retail loans we give, another is MSME loans, third is agriculture. Please remember, agriculture loans in our bank as of now, MCR linked. That means MCR only we will link to agriculture loans. When coming to MSME loans and retail loans, we are connecting to RLLR. Okay, this is the 2 differences we should know. And RLLR started in our bank from 1/10/2019. MCLR long back it was started 1/4/2016. Okay, next. When we are sanctioning any loan to borrower, our credit policy says we should see the capacity of the borrower, whether he will pay back the amount or not the collateral securities. Collateral securities means, for example, you are sanctioning one house, one business loan to a trader. Whatever is, for example, a cloth merchant is there. You have financed 5 lakhs to him. Whatever clothes he is purchasing, that is the prime security, because whatever loan you are having, he is purchasing that clothes from your money. That is asset created out of your bank finance. That is called prime security. So you have to see what is the prime security he is purchasing when you are giving loan, whether he will repay or not, whether he is having repaying capacity or not. These are the main things you have to see when you are working in advances. Not that you have taken a collateral. For example, party is giving 10 lakhs house. I am sanctioning 5 lakhs. That means I am taking his house as a collateral security. What is this collateral security? If anything happens to that loan, I can depend on this collateral security. I can sell his house and I can get back my loan amount. This is the concept of collateral security. Bank is very clearly telling you should see borrower financials and how much strength he is on financially, what type of capacity he is paying to repay. These things only you have to consider mainly, not the collateral securities. Collateral security only a risk mitigant. If anything happens, we can sell it and we can get the amount. Like that, it should be used not for sanctioning of that loan. Okay, this is important. Next, what is the basis for our credit risk policy? The bank shall continue measure credit risk. The credit risk, whatever we are assessing the borrower, it is based on standardized approach. Of course, presently we are following standardized approach along with IRB approach. The names you have to remember, that's all. But IRB approach, till now, Reserve Bank of India has not given approval. Till that time, bank is doing standardized approach along with IRB. Once RBI gives a green signal, we will go for straight away only IRB approach. Okay, these two names you have to remember. Now, what type of borrowers generally we finance? Generally, we finance, individuals. If Ravi Kumar is coming to you for finance, he is an individual. Hindu undivided family, there is a common family will be there, and Karta will be the leader who is the senior most in the family. Okay, he's called Karta. That type of accounts also we can finance, no problem. Sole proprietorship. Proprietorship and individual both are legally same. Individual means Ravi Kumar. Sole proprietorship means, for example, if I float a firm name, name is, for example, Sri Enterprises. Proprietor is Ravi Kumar. Okay, individually I am 100% I am investing in that business. So that is called sole proprietorship. Only difference between individual and proprietorship is a firm also will be connected in proprietorship. An individual, nothing will be there. In my name only, I'll do the business. Next comes partnership. Partnership means, very well, minimum 2 people will be there, maximum 10 in banking and maximum 20 in other than banking. That is called partnership. Those type of firms also we will finance. Limited liability partnership, LLPs we call it as. This is also a new concept, limited liability partnership. Then companies, limited companies will come, private limited companies will come, cooperative societies. All these type of borrowers we always finance. Okay, next, HUF is a very important point. HUF, it cannot be a partner in a partnership firm. If at all it became a partner in a partnership firm, bank cannot finance. Please remember, this is an important point with regard to HUF. Okay, HUF cannot be a partner in partnership firm. Next, what are the trust area, non-trust area? In the credit policy, bank decided where they want to keep more money, where they are getting more income or less NPA. By seeing all these things and even government guidelines, RBI guidelines, bank has decided, yes, we will keep our funds, majority of our funds in trust area. What is a trust area? Please remember, agriculture, MSME, and retail will be always your priorities. As a bankers, you know it, and export also. Now you see what is the trust area as per policy. Agriculture sector, agriculture I told you, industrial sectors, MSME, export segment, and all other segments in priority sector. For example, retail lending you are doing. What are the retail lending priority? Housing loan, to some extent it is priority. Education loan, it comes under priority. These type of retail lending also, we must give more interest. That is called trust area. Non-trust means bank doesn't want to pay more money, or they don't want to give more advance here. Okay, what is that? Commercial real estate, or if you are giving to NBFCs other than HFCs, NBFCs, only NBFCs, capital market, if you want to put your money in the shares and all, industries which do not have growth potential, some industries are there which you are finding today because of COVID, some not having good potential, those industries will be your non-trust area where bank doesn't want to put their capital funds. Okay. Now, commercial risk. What is meant by CRE? Now, just now I spoke. CRE is a non-trust area, right? CRE is a non-trust area. What is a CRE? Come on, this CRE means, I'll tell you with one example. See, for example, you are financing to a function hall, some Kalyana Mandapam function hall like that. If the income, whatever you are receiving, how he will do it? If you give for a function hall some 1 crore, he has constructed some good building. He has done some interior. Now what he do? He will lease out. He will give it rent out for some one marriage. He will take 2 lakhs. What he is giving? He is renting the function hall. Okay, one type. And second type, I'll tell you. Some project finance we will do, like some builder will come. He will say, sir, I will construct 100 flats. Give me some 10 crores. Bank will give 10 crores to him. That is called project finance, right? Some project he will do, and out of that, whatever, for example, 100 flats he has built. Out of that 100 flats, what he will do? He will sell it. He will sell it to you and me also. We will take housing loan. We will purchase from that builder. So what I want to tell you is CRE means whatever income party is getting, that borrower, whoever taken loan from us, if he is getting from rental, like function hall given on rent, if rent is more than 50% of his income, first case. Second case, you have financed it to somebody, and that somebody is selling some flats in that I told you builder case. So he's selling the flats and he is getting income. Like that, if anybody is getting income more than 50% in that particular project, it will be called as commercial real estate. That means whatever cash is generating in that business, if it is coming from lease or rental payments or sale of assets, if he is selling the asset, in the builder, what he will do? He will sell the asset. House he will sell. From that, he is getting income. If it is more than 50%. Function hall fellow, he is giving lease out. There also, if it is more than 50%, he is getting income. Then it will be called as commercial real estate. Okay. Next, bank financing to any plot. Generally, we go for housing loan. Correct. When we are going for housing loan, generally, sometimes some of us will tell, sir, first I will purchase plot, then I will construct house. Yes. As per policy, bank says we can finance for purchase of plots. Later, party can construct house, but the maximum time permitted is 18 months. Okay. Next point. When we are doing to commercial real estate, just now I told you what is commercial real estate. How much amount we can finance? Bank says maximum loan you can give for CRE is 150 crores. That's all. But one more condition they told, whatever party you are financing, you have to see what is the tangible net worth of the party. Tangible net worth means total capital, everything will come under net worth. Out of that, if you deduct intangible assets, it will come as tangible net worth. The tangible net worth, you have to see total tangible net worth of that company, firm, whatever it may be. You have to multiply with 3.33. Maximum that much loan only you can give, subject to 150 crores. Okay. This is with regard to commercial real estate, maximum amount we can finance. Okay. When NBFC guidelines, National Building Code 2005 guidelines, some guidelines are there with this National Building Code, which is applicable for construction of building exceeds 25 crore only. You have to remember this 25 crores as answer. NBC guidelines are applicable only for construction about 25 crores only. Capital market exposure. Capital market exposure means banks keeping the funds in. See, somebody is coming for Bank of Baroda, person came to you and they have given some shares of Bank of Baroda and they want finance from you. If bank is giving, our bank is giving, we call it as capital market exposure. We are putting in his share. He is giving shares and taking loan from you. It is nothing but capital market exposure. How much finance we can give? See, Canara Bank may be having so many funds, but how much we can keep our funds in capital market, in the shares. So bank, the policy says exposure of the bank to the capital market in all forms, whether you give fund based or non-fund based, whatever loan you give, it should not exceed 40% of net worth as on 31st of previous year. Please remember, more than 40% of your net worth, you cannot keep your funds in capital market. What is capital market? Keeping your money in share market, not in share market. Whoever is coming to you and taking loans against shares. Okay. But please remember it, if it is direct investment, if bank want to invest directly in shares, convertible bonds, debentures, units of equity oriented, mutual funds, and all exposure to venture capitals shall not exceed 20% of net worth. Capital market, maximum 40%. If you want to directly invest in shares or convertible bonds, that is 20% is restriction. So 40%, 20% you have to remember with regard to capital market exposures. Okay. Now, consortium advance. What is meant by consortium? See, some big parties will be there. One bank cannot finance. So 3-4 banks will group together and they will finance to one particular customer. Here the guideline says consortium means one leader bank will be there. Like for example, one big leader will be there. For example, State Bank of India is leader. And some Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda, all banks also will be there. These Canara Bank and Bank of Baroda, they will call it as member banks, and State Bank will be a leader bank for that consortium. All these 3 banks will finance. What they're telling is anybody wants to generally be a member of that consortium advance, any banker, he should at least have 10% share. If it's 100 crores, 10 crores, I minimum share the one bank should have. But in deserving cases, it can be less than that also, no problem. That means with 5% also can do it. Next, what is joint lending arrangement? 10% minimum share. Okay, that is the important point. Joint lending arrangement is here, if it is 150 crores and above advance, if somebody wants, then only joint lending arrangement will come into picture. But joint lending arrangement will be done by more than 2 public sector banks. Okay, more than one. Minimum 2 public sector banks or more public sector banks will finance under joint lending arrangement. And important figure is 150 crores and above, JLA will come into place. Now, what is meant by group exposure? See, generally we finance to single borrower. Generally, Ravi Kumar is a single borrower. For when one single entity will be there, there is Ravi Kumar and all. What is group then? Group means commonality of management and effective control on the management. I will tell you what is this. For example, I am the proprietor of Sri Enterprises. Again, I have another firm where I am also a partner and I am having major share. For example, I am having major share. Then also these 2 groups I am having interest. My firm also I am having interest. That firm also I am having interest. It comes under group. Or for example, I am having 100% stake here. There also I am having more than 51% stake. Then also it's a group. It comes under group. Example, I am a proprietor here in a partnership firm. I am a managing partner. Both the firms I am managing. Then also it calls under group. This type of accounts will be called as group. Okay. Two are more in the firms. I have more interest in that firms. Okay. Like that you have to remember. Now, single and group borrowers, Reserve Bank of India told all the banks, you cannot keep more funds. Okay. So they have told this much of funds only you can keep. Whatever capital Canara Bank is having, out of that, 20% only can keep under single borrower. If it is a single borrower account, bank cannot keep more than 20%. This is Reserve Bank of India told to banks. This is applicable to all banks. Okay. Group borrower, they told 25% maximum. More than that, you cannot keep on group accounts. But one exception they told, if board wants to permit, board can permit 5% extra. See, for example, single borrower, we have already reached 20% of capital funds. Then we can go to board and we can take permission from board that one more 5% extra 5% we want to keep in single borrower. So board can permit. Okay. Otherwise, 20% for single borrower, for group it is 25% of capital funds. This is what Reserve Bank of India given guidelines to all commercial banks. Based on this 20%, 25%, now our bank has decided this much of funds only we will implement. Now we see that. Okay. Now you see single and group borrowers, bank decided. They told 20% for individual, group 25%. Reserve Bank told to all banks. But our bank told, no, we will not give 20, 25. We will give less than that. Now, but our bank has decided whenever they are giving this entity amount, capital funds, they have connected with risk rating. I told you 4 type of risk rating will be there. Low risk, normal risk, moderate risk, high risk. High risk, I told you, only CSE of the board having powers. These 3 manager can sanction. I told you about risk rating. Okay. Now you see, our bank told to us, you cannot sanction more than 15% of capital funds to low and normal risk customer, and 12% of capital funds to moderate risk customer, 8% of capital funds to high risk customer. This is the ceiling. More than that, you cannot finance to single or group. Both of them, bank has not given any variation. RBI told 20%, 25% single and group, but our bank told to us, no, we are not bifurcating. Anyway, group 25%, single 20. Less than that only bank has kept their capital funds. So low risk normal is 15%, moderate 12%, high risk 8%. Okay. Now coming to credit exposure ceiling for individuals and non-corporate borrowers. Non-corporate means companies. Other than companies, there is a prudential exposure. That means maximum we can finance this much only. Okay. Now you see how bank has bifurcated these figures. If you see in the credit policy, it was little bit different. It was a little bit confusing. So I kept in a systematic manner. First, you see only amount. See, I have kept amounts 25 crore, double, 50 crore, 25 plus 25, 50, 50 plus 20, 75, 75 plus 25, 100. Only these 4 only you remember for examination point. Start with 25, ends with 100. Okay. Now you see 25 crore. Who is the first borrower? We generally, company you leave it. If company you leave it, individual, proprietor, partnership, LLP only will come. All these 4. Other than that, we will see how it is given. Bank has told. The prudential exposure bank says, if you are financing to an individual borrower, maximum 25 crores over. Now 25 crores you have linked to individual. After individual, who will come? Proprietorship. Come to proprietorship. Proprietorship is 50 crore. The next figure will come to proprietor automatically. Along with proprietor, they told association and HUF. I remember always this as PAH. Proprietorship, association, HUF. Like that, I'll remember for 50 crore. Then 75 crore answer is there. This is for society and trust. If society and trust you are financing, maximum 75 crore only you can finance. After society, what is there? Individual over, proprietor over. Then comes partnership account. Partnership or LLP, both of them maximum 100 crore only. So 25, 50, 75, 100. This is the maximum prudential exposure. The maximum finance we can do. But individuals 25, PAH, proprietor association HUF 50, then society and trust it is 75, then partnership is 100. If you are unable to remember all these 3 figures, please remember the first answer, very important. Individuals, maximum we can finance 25 crore, and partnership and LLP 100 crore, because these 2 are recently modified. That is the reason these 2 are very, very important for examination. Individual 25, all partnership LLP 100 crore. Okay. Now, what is exposure to NBFCs? If you are financing non-banking financial companies, how much bank can finance? Not to exceed 20% of bank's tier 1 capital funds, as per the last ABS. Last ABS, how much tier 1 capital funds you are having? On that, only 20% you can finance into non-banking financial companies. You cannot give more than that. Now coming to real estate, I told you there is a CRE. What is the definition? When you are financing to real estate, maximum you can finance 20% of your gross credit. Whatever gross credit our bank is having, out of that 20% you can give it to real estate. Out of that, if you are financing to CRE, that commercial real estate, 5% of gross credit only you can finance. Okay, these 2 numbers you have to remember. Real estate 20% of gross credit, CRE is 5% of gross credit. If you are financing to NBFC, 20% of bank's tier 1 capital funds. Okay, last time this question has come. Now, exposure to capital market. I told you what is a capital market. Somebody is coming and giving shares and asking finance. If bank is giving against shares, we call it as capital market. Okay, loans and advances against shares. This is very, very important slide for you. If you are financing against shares, if it is a physical form, bank will not finance first. If it is a demat form, the demat account, whatever shares he is having, that is called demat form, and materialized form. That is another word. We call it as materialized form. If you are financing anybody against share, the maximum loan you can give is 20 lakhs. That's all. Okay. First important. Second, if anybody is coming for ESOP means employee stock option scheme. If any employee is coming for purchasing of his own bank share, see, our bank cannot finance. See, our bank cannot give loan for purchasing our own shares. So that is the reason generally what we have done. Recently also we have financed to Union Bank of India. Union Bank of India employees came to us and we have given a finance to them. Okay. So employee stock option scheme, if somebody wants to purchase, we can finance 90% of purchase price. Whatever purchase price is coming, 90% or maximum 20 lakhs. Here also 20 lakhs is the maximum amount. You remember, 90% of purchase price or 20 lakhs, whichever is lower, we can finance. These two answers, if questions comes, normal demat shares 20 lakhs, ESOP also 20 lakhs. Only one additional point you have to remember is 90% of purchase price. And last but not least, IPO, initial public offer. If, for example, tomorrow IRCTC come for, again for already IRCTC has come, some other company for initial public offer, if they come, we can finance maximum 10 lakhs only. We cannot give 20 lakhs. If somebody is bringing shares, we can give 20 lakhs. If somebody is purchasing under employee stock option, we can give 20 lakhs. But if somebody coming with initial, sir, I want to invest in that company is coming in the share market, we can give maximum 10 lakhs. Please remember, IPO 10 lakhs, remaining all 20 lakhs. Okay, this is with regard to capital mark. This is a very important slide for you, for example. Now, whether we can finance to private banks, yes, private sector banks, non-prime foreign banks, bank can finance, but only one condition you have to remember is whatever bank you are financing, that bank tangible net worth should be 1,000 crores and above. Then only you can finance. Otherwise, you cannot finance to private sector banks. Private sector banks, if you want to finance, their net worth should be 1,000 crore. Okay, 1,000 crore. But one exception they have permitted. If it is less than 1,000 crore also, CAC of the board, you see, this is an extreme authority. CAC of the board can permit. If it is even less than 1 crore, 1,000 crore, they can permit. But still, there is a restriction. 50% tangible net worth of the bank only, they can also finance. Okay, this is exceptional. We need not remember. One thing you remember, private sector banks are non-prime foreign banks. If banks have to finance, their net worth should be 1,000 crores and above. Okay, now coming to exposure on cooperative banks. If you want to finance to cooperative banks, what is the condition policy says? They go for discount of bills co-acceptance. Okay, in that facility also, you cannot finance more than 25% of net owned funds. What this also you can take it as net worth. 25% of net worth only we can finance to cooperative banks. More than that, we cannot finance. Now, appraisal of credit proposals. This is a very important. See, if anybody is taking an account above 5 crores, for example, okay, any company is asking more than 5 crores, you have to take copy of the passport of promoters, directors, guarantors, mandatorily. They may ask you when you have to take passport of the promoters. Above 5 crore proposal only we have to take. Okay. Now, legal entity identifier, one more code is there where we have to take this 50 crores and above. If you are financing any advance, then you have to take legal entity identifier. It is called as LEI. They may ask full form also. What is LEI? That is legal entity identifier. When it will come into picture, 50 crore and above proposals only. Next, one more 50 crore you have to remember. Whenever you are financing, when bank finances more than 50 crore and above, these are all numbers only we have to remember. If you are financing 50 crore and above, you have to take a report from Central Economic Intelligence Bureau. Above 50 crores only. And one more thing, if any account becomes NPA in our bank, we have to report also to Central Economic Intelligence Bureau. That means Central Economic Intelligence Bureau will have data of all the borrowers who are enjoying 50 crores and above, even the account became NPA, because all the banks are giving data. So they will give data also, and they will give information also about the borrowers who are all, when we want to finance 50 crores and above. Now coming to something regard to assessment of working capital limits. Your branches will give OCC, they will call OCC, OD, so many checks also you are debiting. When you are assessing the limits for working capital, assessing means what? How much finance? Say, party will say, I need, sir, 10 lakhs, I need 1 crore, I need 10 crore. But how to assess? So your branch officer and manager will do assessment of working capital to arrive how much I can finance to this particular OCC limit. For that, bank says, if you are financing to MSME units, it is a manufacturing or services, whatever it may be, up to 5 crores, you have to assess the limits under turnover method. This turnover method only you have to finance to MSME, manufacturing and services. This is called turnover method, and one more name is there. This was invented or discovered by Mr. Nayak. So PR Nayak method also they will call turnover method, Nayak committee method, one and the same. And MSME borrowers up to 5 crores, 5 crores. If at all working capital assessment to be done, they will do under turnover method. How they do? Simply they will take the turnover. Turnover means sales. Out of that, 25% they will receive, 25% they will arrive. From that 25%, 5% margin they will remove, and remaining 20% they will finance to the borrower. That is called turnover method. But turnover method, one exception is there. Generally for manufacturing and services, up to 5 crores we do under turnover method. But please remember, if trader or a exporter, you're a IT party or a software people comes, you cannot assess the limits up to 5 crores. You have to assess up to 2 crores only. This is one exception. Normally they don't ask exception. They will ask turnover method up to what amount? 5 crores. If at all they ask in the exam, trader or exporter, then it is up to 2 crores. Okay, this you remember. And next method is, second method is MPBF method, maximum permissible bank finance method. This we will assess 5 to 25 crores borrowers. Now last method is cash budget system. This is over 25 crores we will assess under cash budget system. You have to remember three methods. One is turnover method, another is MPBF method, third is cash budget method. MPBF method, turnover method up to 5 crores. Next one is MPBF 5 to 25, cash budget above 25 crores. All serially it will come. This is only an exception I told you. Okay. Next. Even sometimes if they ask cash budget method, there is a peculiar cash budget method. See, if anybody has come for software development, construction, tea and sugar, these people we cannot assess under turnover method, even though it is less than 5 crore. So these are all called seasonable activities. Seasonal activities. In the season only they do business. For them, irrespective of the limit, we assess under cash budget method. For example, contractor, we do under cash budget method only, even though he comes for 1 crore. But this guideline says up to 5 crores only turnover method. It is not so for these people. Software, construction, tea and sugar. They may ask you for seasonal industries, what type of method you use for assessment of working capital? Cash budget method. Okay. Or they may give these names, software, tea, sugar, construction, what method? Cash budget method. Otherwise, general means up to 5 crores, turnover method, 5 to 25, MPBF, over 25, cash budget. And turnover method, other name is Nayak committee method. MPBF method, other name is Tandon committee, because Tandon committee has invented this method. Okay. ABS with regard to crop loans. See, generally audited balance sheet in our bank, we generally take for 100 lakhs and above turnover. If anybody is doing sales, 100 lakhs and above, generally we take audited balance sheet. What is audited balance sheet? Generally, if borrower signs and give it, it is called as balance sheet. If that balance sheet is signed by some chartered accountant, then we will call it as audited balance sheet. That's all. Okay. Generally for MSME borrowers and all, above 100 lakhs, if turnover is there, or above 1 crore, we can call. Then generally we tell the party, sir, your balance sheet should be audited. You go to auditor and balance sheet will be audited, and then only you bring to us. But please remember, if it is a crop, agriculture loans, ABS up to 100 lakhs, bank has waived. No audit is required. But above 100 lakhs, if at all it should be waived. Circle head is having powers to waive. Even though he waives, he will charge 0.25% extra on the rate of interest. Okay, this is very important point. Next, whenever you finance for construction companies, I told you through cash budget method only, we assess the limits for construction companies. Please remember, for construction companies, assessment will be done under that cash budget method, but you cannot finance more than 9 times of net own fund. That means whatever net worth is in the balance sheet into 9 times. Just now I told you for some other 3.33 and 150 crore. Remember, same thing here also for construction companies. You cannot finance more than 9 times of his net worth. It will call as net owned funds also. Okay. Bank pricing of credit. So rate of interest. See, the same, this also, when you are issuing guarantees, if any our own scheduled banks, if anybody is issuing guarantee, if at all you want to finance against that guarantee, same that SBI, all public sector banks, their tangible net worth also should be 1,000 crore and above. I told you even for private banks. Private banks, if you want to finance, their net worth should be 1,000 crore and above. Here I am telling, if guarantees issued by these banks, if some guarantee issued, again is that guarantee, if you want to do any loan, these banks, whatever public sector banks issued guarantee, their tangible net worth also should be 1,000 crore and above. Now coming to pricing of rate. Pricing of rate is nothing but fixing of rate of interest. Okay. How to fix rate of interest for proposals? See, up to 2 lakhs, generally we do as advised by the bank. How the bank advised, based on that we will do it. But 2 lakhs to 2 crores, if you are financing, that too for agriculture loans, there is a scoring norms are there. Based on that scoring norms, we have to do it. And 2 lakhs to 2 crores, all MSME borrowers, we do risk rating. Okay, in my next slide, I will show you how that MSME risk rating will take place. If it is above 2 crores, we do under CIRM model, Canara internal rating model. If it is above 10 crore exposure, then we do under ACI rating. Okay, external commercial rating. Now current ratio, liquidity marks. See, I told you there are two methods, up to 5 crores turnover method, 5 to 25 crores MPBF method. Please remember, what are the benchmarks for current ratio? They may ask you. So if they ask for turnover method, it is 1.25. If it is for MPBF, it is 1.33. This is the benchmark for current ratio. Okay, this only have to by heart this. Turnover 1.25, MPBF 1.33. Fixation of limits. Fixation of limits means when you are financing to a borrower, your OCC will expire someday after 1 year, 2 years. Now bank told in recent circular, all working capital, that means all OCC will expire after 12 months only. But they have given 3 exceptions which will not expire after 12 months. One is your staff OD. Your staff OD is tenable for 2 years. That was kept same. KCC for 5 years we give it. That also will continue, no problem. GLOD, that gold loan we give overdraft in urban area also, rural area also. In rural it is 3 years, in urban it is 2 years. These 3 schemes are more than 12 months. Other than this, any loan in Canara Bank, in OCC, up to 12 months only now. Okay. Now, loan system for delivery of bank credit. It is a concept. Loan system for delivery of bank credit. Please remember 150 crore and above. Again, 150 crore joint lending arrangement also I told 150 crore and above. Loan system for delivery of bank credit also 150 crore and above. Okay. Now coming to term loan. What is meant by term loan? Any loan you are sanctioning for a maturity of more than 1 year, if you are giving repayment, it is called term loan. What is meant by medium term loan? 1 year to 3 years, if you are fixing a repayment, it is called as medium term loan. If it is above 3 years, if you are fixing repayment, it is called long term loan. Okay. Medium term, long term, you have to remember, they may ask you in the exam, what is a medium term loan? 1 year to 3 years repayment. More than 3 years, long term loan. Now, reimbursement of term loans. Just one slide I kept for you. If anybody has already invested, term loan, generally we give it for land and building, plant and machinery. Land and building, what? Already his construction is over. Plant and machinery also, party has purchased it from his own funds. Now he got some short of funds. Now he will come to bank. Sir, I already constructed, I already invested in plant and machinery. Can you give me some amount by taking the bills? Then bank can reimburse. But how much? 25% of the term loan. Please remember, only 25%. He brings 100, for example, 100 lakhs of bills. They can give only 25 lakhs. First important point. Second important point, only for low risk and normal risk customers only we can finance. I told you 4 type of risk ratings. When we do this borrower, when who comes for reimbursement, first we will do risk rating. Low risk, normal risk if comes, then only we can sanction. Moderate, high, we cannot sanction reimbursement. Number 1. Second, he might have invested in land and building also. He might have invested in plant and machinery also. But reimbursement will be available only for plant and machinery. Land and building, we never give reimbursement. Okay. And whatever plant and machinery also he is bringing, that should be only 6 months old. Today, if he is coming, he might have purchased it within 6 months. then only we can. After 2 years, he comes with the plant and machinery bill, we cannot sanction. Not even 7 months. Only less than 6 months only we can finance. So three things we have to remember. We have with regard to reimbursement. 25% only we give. Low risk and normal risk customer only we give. Only for plant and machinery we give, not for land and building. And within 6 months, those bills he might, within 6 months he comes after purchase, then only we can give. Okay, this is with regard to reimbursement. Now, conduct of project appraisal. See, there will be some TFOs you might have not heard. Technical field officers we call. These people will be available in circle offices and regional offices. And there is a project appraisal team in Bangalore also. See, for example, our branch managers are processing proposals of 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 1 crore. Okay, I'll agree. 2 crore, 3 crore. For example, a 5 crore proposal has come to your branch, whether our managers can efficiently handle that proposal, whether they can do project appraisal, whether they know whether this project is viable to the bank or not. For this purpose, bank has made a team for project appraisal. What these people will do is, when a big proposal comes to your branch, they will come from head office or they will come from this circle office. They will take all the papers from you. They will go. They are all our own colleagues only, Canara Bank employees only. So they will go to that party's business unit and they will verify whether this project is viable for the bank or not, economically viable or not. All these things they will see. Then they will give the report. Yes, branch manager, you can do it. That is called project appraisal. Then when this project appraisal will take place, if the borrower is new, if this borrower is very new to your branch, then 5 crores and above project appraisal people will come and they will appraise the proposal. Okay. If he is an existing customer, already is dealing with you more than 2 years, 3 years, existing customer, then it is 1000 lakh, or we can call it as 10 crores. So remember, for a new customer, it is 5 crores. For an old customer, it is 10 crores. But only one exception they told. If the party got moderate risk, I told you low risk, normal risk are very safe parties. Moderate risk means some risk is there. If party got moderate risk or external rating means CRISIL, ICRA, CARE, these people will give risk rating. Our bank, when they do risk rating, they give low risk, normal risk, moderate risk, high risk. When ECI means external people, CRISIL, ICRA, SMERA, Brickworld, some companies are there. They will also do risk rating. They will charge 70,000, 1 lakh from the borrower, and they will give risk rating. If they give AAA, very good customer, just like our low risk customer. If they give BB, it is equal to our moderate risk in our bank, whatever we are doing. Okay. If BB or moderate risk comes, then only, even though existing borrower he is, we have to do above 5 crores. Normally, new borrower 5 crore above, existing borrower 1 crore and above. But existing borrower, if his risk rating is moderate, that means risk is there. Bank told, no, we will do for 5 crore and above. So these projects will be done by our project appraisal team. This is with regard to MSME proposals and general proposals. The same type of project appraisal will be taken care for agriculture also. Something is different for agriculture. For agriculture, project new borrower, it is 150 lakhs. 1.5 crore only, ACS will come. Okay. AIC, Agriculture Innovation Center. Earlier, the name is ACS. Just I am giving additional input here. Now, this slide is not connected to that. Okay. This is for MSME, you can imagine, or general advances. When it comes to agriculture, now I am telling you, it is not in the slide. 150 lakhs for only new customer. If it's existing customer, 3 crore. Okay. 150 and 300 lakhs, new and existing borrowers for agriculture. Okay. Next. Takeover borrower. Takeover, you know pretty well. If somebody is having loan in Bank of Baroda, some housing loan, he wants to come to your bank. That is called takeover. Definition of takeover means sole banking means from one bank to another bank. Multiple banking means two banks are financing. If somebody's share our bank is taking, that is also a takeover. In consortium, I told you one leader will be there, some member banks will be there. If anybody's share, if our bank wants to take, that is also takeover. It is also called as takeover. Now, the most important point. See, generally what happens is parties will say, one ex-party is there. He is dealing in your area only. For example, in your area, Bank of Baroda is there near to your branch. There he is enjoying some 20 lakhs limit, OCC. That party will come to your bank and they will say, sir, I want 20 lakhs only. I don't want extra, sir. I am not happy with the service of that particular bank or branch. So I want to come to your Canara Bank, for example. What generally manager will say, okay, sir, You close that account and you come to us, we will immediately open. No. Why I am telling no is, now the guideline says, if anybody is closing the limit and coming to you within 3 months, see, he closes the account and after 3 months he is coming, it's a fresh advance. Branch manager can sanction, no problem. But if he is closing and coming within 3 months, one day after or maximum 3 months, if he is coming to your fold, it is called as takeover. I am not telling that we cannot do advance. Only restriction here is, if it is a takeover, if it is construed as a takeover, branch manager cannot sanction. Only RO head has to sanction. So your branch has to take all the papers of that Bank of Baroda party or whoever, whichever bank, and they have to submit to our RO, and RO will sanction. Your branch manager cannot sanction. Even the same amount, 20 lakhs he closed and 20 lakhs only he want from our bank. Still we cannot sanction because the guideline says within 3 months, it is called as takeover. And whenever you permit, okay, EMT, this is also important. Whenever takeover we are doing some other bank to our bank, mortgage we will do, that property papers we will collect and we will keep it in our bank. That is called EMT, equitable mortgage. That equitable mortgage we have to do within 30 days. And one more thing, whenever you are doing any takeover, that pass sheet, whatever you are taking from the borrower, 1 year pass sheet you have to take from that bank, and you have to verify how he is paying the installment and all. They may ask you in takeover of retail lending, how much period pass sheet you have to take? 1 year. EMT within how many days we have to do? 30 days. Okay. These things we have to remember. Now, credit risk management. I told you, when you are doing risk rating, there are 4 models available in our bank. If it is less than 2 lakhs, any exposure, if party has come for 2 lakhs only, it will be done under portfolio model. If it is 2 lakhs to 20 lakhs, we do under small value model. If it is 20 lakhs to 2 crores, we do under manual model. If it is above 2 crores, we do under CIRM model, that is Canara Internal Rating Model. These are the 2 important models we have to remember. When we are working in MSME, we have to do risk rating. This up to 2 lakhs portfolio model, branches will not do. It will be taken care at head office level. Small value model branch will do. Manual model also branch will do. Whoever may be the sanctioning authority, those people will do this 20 lakhs and 2 crores. But above 2 crores, CIRM model, circle office will do. Branch will not do any risk rating. Okay. This is with regard to risk rating. I told you ECI, some external rating agencies also will do risk rating. The AAA, AA they will give. What are all the companies? The company name is, first one is CARE. You might have heard these names. Credit Analysis and Research Limited, CARE, CRISIL, ICRA, and Brickwork Ratings, even India Ratings, Acute Ratings, Informerix. These are the agencies, domestic credit agencies, which do risk rating from outside. Okay. But when they do about 10 crore proposals only, we can give to these credit rating agencies, then only they will do. Okay. Remember these important names: CARE, CRISIL, ICRA, Brickwork, India Ratings, Acute Ratings, Informerix. Now, one more thing I want to add you. They may ask sometimes, what is the new name of Fitch Ratings? Earlier, this name of Fitch changed to India Ratings. Like SMERA is changed to Acute Ratings. Now, sometimes they ask, which is not a domestic agency. Then we have to know all these names. Sometimes they will ask simply, what is the new name of Fitch, India Rating? What is the new name of SMERA, Acute? Okay, these are the domestic rate agencies. In India, they will do. What about international agencies? International agencies are 3. One is Fitch, another is Moody's, and another is Standard and Poor Rating Agency, S&P. These are international credit agencies. If you want to do any abroad account credit rating, these accounts only will do. These companies only will do. Okay. Then Basel recognized guarantees. Basel will not recognize all guarantees. They will recognize very few guarantees. Very important and very dynamic or very effective guarantees, I can say. Central government is giving guarantee, they will take. State government is giving, they will take. Scheduled banks are giving, they will take. DICGC, they will take. All government or government agencies only. CGTMSE, CGFPLH, CGFMU, ECGC, all are very good guarantees. Those guarantees only they will recognize as guarantees. Okay. This is restrictions of lending. This is very important slide for you. See, bank cannot lend against his own shares. They may ask, bank cannot grant any loan advances on security of its own shares. See, for example, one Bank of Baroda employee is there. He cannot go to Bank of Baroda and say, sir, I am having Bank of Baroda, please take my shares and give me loan. No, because that Bank of Baroda cannot lend advance on its own shares. That is the reason we cannot lend. Which section? 20 subsection 1 of Banking Regulation Act. Sometimes they will ask 20 subsection 1 what it is telling. Sometimes they will ask, bank cannot grant any loan. Which section is restricting? 20 subsection 1 of BR Act. And next one is, this is also a restriction of lending. Holding shares in companies. So section 19.2, this section is very, very important. This 19.2 and 21. 21 is about shares. 19.2 is about what they are restricting. 92 is, bank shall not hold shares in any company. Any company, if you are in share, somebody is coming and taking finance, the maximum under shares you can finance is 30% paid up share capital of that company. Which company shares you are taking, that company 30% paid up capital is more than that you cannot take shares of that company, or 30% of its own paid up share capital and reserves. That means our bank own paid up share capital and reserves, whichever is less. You need not remember everything. Remember section 19.2, remember 30%, 30%. Entire data they will give, they will say, as per section 19.2, restriction of lending, bank shall not hold shares in a company amount exceeding dash of the paid up share capital of the company, dash of its own. 30% is the answer. If they give entire this answer, they will ask section. So 19.2 you remember, 30%, 30% you have to remember. 21, restricting banks to not to advance against its own shares. Okay, these two are restrictions of lending. We have to remember. Last time they have asked this section to us. Okay, please remember. Now coming to one more restriction. Bank cannot gold loan we give, na, but we can give gold loan, no problem. But we cannot give gold loan on bullion. That means biscuits and all we cannot take and give gold loan. Like gold jewelry, yes, we can give, no problem. Gold coins, units of gold exchange traded, these things we cannot finance under against gold. But you can take gold coins. Gold coins also we cannot take. But one special case we can take gold coins, that is called minted gold coins. What is meant by minted gold coins? See, some Bank of Baroda, central bank, they might have sold some gold coins. Bank will sold gold coins. That is called minted gold coins. Those gold coins we can take, but maximum restriction is 50 grams. Remember, more than 50 grams, we cannot take gold coins. This is important point. In this slide, this is important. 50 grams is important. Okay. Now, credit delivery. Within how many days we have to disburse any application, some loan application has come. Within how many days we have to sanction it? Very, very important is KCC. If a Kisan credit card party has come to you, agriculturist, within branch powers, you have to sanction within 15 days. Very, very important. This question, it may come to you. KCC, branch powers within how many days? 15 days. If loans advances over 25,000, any loan, it is 30 days, no problem. For MSME enterprises, MSME, if anybody comes for loan, loans up to 5 lakhs in 15 days. Above 5 lakhs, 30 days. Okay. These are the two important dates you have to remember. Export credit, any export borrower comes to you. If it is a fresh loan, fresh, renewal or ad hoc. I have written in shortcut, fresh, renewal, ad hoc. Fresh for export, we have to give in 30 days. Renewal also 30 days. Ad hoc, within 15 days, we have to sanction. This is for time norms for dispose the application, or we can say sanction the application very fast. Remember, KCC is very important, 15 days. If they ask Forex, 30, 30, 15. Fresh, renewal, ad hoc. Gold card exporters. These are all more than 3 years they are dealing with us. They are doing very good in export. Those people will be called as gold card exporters. Because they are having a very good track record in our bank, we will give less than this. So if fresh is within 25 days, renewal is within 15 days, and ad hoc within 7 days, only for gold card. Normal exporter, this is the time. Gold card, this is the time. Okay. This is with regard to credit delivery. Now, audited financial statement. I told you what is meant by ABS. Normal balance sheet means party will sign. ABS means CA will sign. Above 100 crores, he has to sign. Party has to, when he has to submit the ABS, ABS has to be submitted before 31st of October. March it will be over. From March it is 7 months. 7 months means automatically it ends at 31st October. Generally 31st October will be the deadline. If he is not submitting within 31st October, he has to pay penalty 2%. Okay, this much you have to remember with regard to ABS, audited balance sheet. Okay, but one more thing I want to tell you, if he has filed in the month of May itself, see, March 31st balance sheet will be over. 7 months time has been given, so 31st October tak usko time hai. But if he has filed in August itself, then he has to submit the balance sheet within fortnight. If it is July 31st he has filed, it means August 15th is the deadline for him. If he has filed before the due date, he waited till 31st October, no problem, he can give on 31st October. Okay, but now due to COVID, now these audited financial statements date was extended from 31st October to January 15th or somewhere. Okay, now coming to prepayment penalty. Is there any prepayment penalty if anybody is taken a 10 years tenure loan? 10 years he has taken loan. After 5 years, he comes and says, sir, I want to close the entire loan. That is called prepayment. When he is prepaying that particular loan, whether penalty is there, generally penalty will be there, 2%. 2% penalty we will charge. But if it is a floating type of housing loans or term loans, there are no charges, no penalty for floating housing loans and term loans. Now, coming to validity of sanction. If you receive a sanction, see, generally office, regional office will sanction some loans, or your branch manager also. Generally, sanctions will be term loan for purchase of land and building or plant and machinery, working capital for purchase of stock, and ADACs. Emergency needs only we give ADAC. So these three type of loan, much time this loan will be valid. If it is a working capital, 3 months it is valid from date of sanction. If it is a term loan, 6 months is valid. If it is an ad hoc, 30 days is valid. This is the maximum time that sanction will be valid. Okay. One more thing, validity is over. 3 months validity is there. After 2 months or 2.5 months, party has come. Sir, I cannot avail now. Please revalidate my sanction. Yes, we can revalidate. Again, same period. Working capital, we can revalidate 3 months. Term loan 6 months. ADAC 30 days. That's all. Okay. Sanction will be valid for working capital 3 months. Term loan 6 months. ADAC 30 days. Okay. Okay. Review and extension of limits. Review and extension of limits means generally working capital, I told you, it will be available for 12 months. After 12 months, if party has not renewed the limit, it will get expired. Once it is expired, party cannot debit any transactions. You might have seen in your branch, some OCC, if it is expired, system will not allow any debits. Then immediately party comes and say, sir, please extend my limit for 3 months. Maximum we can permit 3 months. That is the reason party always say, sir, please extend 1 month, 2 months, but maximum 3 months. They may ask you in the exam, how much period we can extend the limits once it is expired. Review and extension of limits is maximum 6 months, but in one occasion 3 months. That means maximum 6 months you can purchase. After 12 months, you can extend up to 6 months, no problem. But one occasion manager will do first 3 months. After 3 months, again he is unable to submit. One more extension can be permitted. That will be 3 months. This 3 months and that 3 months, total it will be 6 months. Okay. Maximum extension is 6 months, but at any point of time, only 3 months we can extend. Then high risk accounts. Low, normal, moderate, this condition will apply. Review and extension. 6 months wala formula. But high risk customers, only 2 months. There is no concept of 6 months for high risk customers. Okay. Holding on operations. Holding on operations also same. Maximum 6 months and 3 months at a time. Okay. Next. Rejection of credit proposals. See, some proposal you don't want to do, some car loan, some education loan, some housing loan. Whether you can reject MSME proposal. As a branch manager, your manager can reject the proposal. For that, bank told some guidelines. If it is a government sponsored scheme like PMEGP, NRLM, DIR, these type of loans, if it is coming, branch manager can reject, no problem. If they are having a valid reasons, branch manager himself can reject it. But only thing is, he has to register in a register, write in a register, and he has to reject whenever that executive, your DM will come sometimes for visit. When they come, they will verify the records. That's all. So government sponsored scheme, branch manager can reject. Coming to MSME, any MSME proposal or education proposal, branch manager can reject with concurrence of next higher authority. He has to inform to RO that this proposal I don't want to do. I need your concurrence. In the mail or letter he will write. They will give concurrence by seeing the reasons. Thereafter, your manager can reject the proposal. With concurrence itself, we can do. Okay. But if it is a SC/ST proposal, some SC/ST party has come to you with proposal, your branch manager cannot reject. Your branch manager cannot take concurrence and reject. Only next higher authority. He has to send the entire proposal to RO. RO only can reject. For SC/ST proposal, next higher authority. NHA means next higher authority. Then export credit. If it is an export finance, rejection can be done. Only thing is we have to report to MD CEO. MD CEO को report करके reject करना export credit. Okay. These are the rejection of credit proposals. Stock audit. Stock audit is nothing but one auditor will come. He will go to godown of our OCC customer. He will verify whether stock is sufficiently available or not. How it will be done? Again, low risk, normal risk. Risk rating is very important. If it's a low risk customer or a normal risk customer, stock audit will be done only for 5 crores and above once in a year. That's all. If he's a moderate customer or high risk customer, amount will be reduced with fee 1 crore and above once in a year. These things we have to remember with regard to stock audit. Stock inspection, you do now every month stock inspection report your manager or officer is preparing. They have to do every month. Every month they have to do stock inspection. Term loan, for example, land and building, we have given plant and machinery. When we have to inspect quarterly. RC book, we have given a car loan, car vehicle inspection we will do. Along with that RC taxpayer receipts we will do once in a year. Okay. Then valuation of properties. That means, see, any property if you are taking, you have to take valuation from the panel valuer. For example, you are taking a house. That house to be valued by panel valuer. He will make valuation and he will give you, sir, the house property value is 10 crore, 1 crore, whatever it may be. Please remember, if it is 10 crores and above the value of the property, 2 valuations we have to take because it is a big value. So we have to take 2. When we have to take 2 valuations, when the property value is 10 crore and above. Please remember 10 crore and above figure. Okay. Valuations to be done. When we have to do? Valuations to be considered for only landed property. See, for example, only there are 2 types of properties you will get. One is vacant land, another is land and building, right? If manager is taking vacant site, only vacant site, then if it is vacant site, if the property is purchased within 12 months, very recently has purchased, 1 month back, 2 months back, he purchased the land and he came to us for mortgage that land and take loan. Then whatever document registered sale deed means, whatever amount he has given to purchase that land, that value only we have to consider. We cannot consider the valuer's valuation or market value. Okay. If it is after 12 months, 1 year over, he has purchased 1 year back vacant site, then we can take 85% of market value. Whatever valuer is giving, on that 85% we can finance. Always you remember these valuations of any property we should do every 3 years. Every 3 years we should take again and again valuation. This is with regard to valuation. Next, once in 3 years, same. But generally valuation will be done after every 3 years only. Before 3 years, nobody is having powers to go for again valuation. But circle head is having powers. If circle head wants to go for valuation, he can go less than 3 years property also, but only 2 conditions are there. Whatever value that valuer is giving, out of that 85% only you can take when less than 3 years, when circle head permitted. And one more thing, whoever valued earlier some excess valued, X company has valued, now another valuer has to value. These 2 conditions he has to fulfill when circle head wants to take valuation less than 3 years. Generally 3 years only. Less than 3 years, only circle head. If at all circle head wants to permit, only he can permit. Other valuer has come. Earlier who has done valuation, he should not do. Some new valuer will come and he will do the valuation. And whatever value he is giving, out of that 85% only we can take. Okay. Then agriculture lands. How agriculture lands will be valued? Agriculture lands, if there is a structure like poultry shed, something are there, then it is 3 years we will go for revaluation. If there are no sheds, nothing, only vacant site, agriculture land is there. Every 5 years we will value. Okay. Generally 3 years I told you for any loan, but agriculture, if there is a structure, some dairy farm, some poultry shed is there, 3 years we will do it, no problem. Same guideline, but there are no shed means 5 years. Okay. Now, generally when branch managers are sanctioning agriculture loans, AEO or AE managers will be two types. One is normal managers who got promoted from normal officer to manager. Some specialist officers are there in our bank, you know pretty well, AEOs, agriculture extension officers. A AEO or AEO promotee manager, because they know agriculture very well, they can give agriculture loans up to 30 lakhs. They themselves can give valuation. No need to take any valuation report. But other than AEO managers, only 20 lakhs they can value. 20 lakhs loan, up to 20 lakhs, some Kisan OD you are giving, for example. That manager can say, yes, this is the value. But he will not give simply. He will go to Tahsildar office and he will take the government values and they will give a confirmation about that. Okay. Or they will do discrete inquiries about the land. But in agriculture, up to 30 lakhs loans, AEO managers can give valuation. This is important. And managers, normal branch promoting managers, up to 20 lakhs. This is important with regard to them. MSME, already I told you in my class, the formula also I told you to remember 1, 10, 50. Micro means 1 crore investment in plant and machinery, 10 crores and 50 crores. That you remember. And for turnover, I told you multiplication of 5. 1 crore into 5 crores. Same thing will come here. 1 crore, 5 crores. Then 10 crores into 5, 50 crores. 50 crores into 5, 250 crores. This is a definition from 1st July 2020. This is applicable for MSME definition. When I told you priority class, I explained you. Okay. MSME targets. How much target? See, every year bank is government of India is expecting that we have to do 20% growth in credit. Loans we have to give more than 20%. Number of accounts, it is only 10% growth. Okay. This is the two targets we have to remember. Credit means 20%. Number of accounts means 10%. Okay. Now, non-fund based limits. These are the bank guarantees, LCs. What type of bank guarantees we are having? The bank guarantees, non-fund based means bank guarantees, LCs, letter of undertaking, derivatives. These 4 items are called as non-fund based limits. They may ask you, out of the following, which is not a non-fund based limit? Bank guarantee is NFB. Letter of credit also NFB. LOU also NFB. Derivatives also non-fund based. These 4 you have to remember. They will give some other answer there, 5th answer, which will be the answer. Okay, these 4 are non-fund based limits. Bank guarantee. You just know who are all in the bank guarantee. Bank guarantee means some customer will come to our bank. For example, one of our customer will come to us and they say, sir, I am performing one contract for L&T. L&T is asking a bank guarantee. Please issue one guarantee to him that I will perform the guarantee. If I am not performing, you will pay the amount. Then we will take some collateral security, some commission, and then we will give on behalf of our customer to L&T saying that L&T, don't worry. If my borrower is not performing that work, we will pay the amount to you. That is called guarantee. We are guaranteeing our customer. Now, who are all the parties? See, the person who is getting benefit out of this is called beneficiary. Who is that? The person who gives the guarantee is called guarantor. Who is the guarantee here? We are. Canara Bank is the guarantor. On whose behalf we are giving? Principal, our customer who has approached us for bank guarantee. He is called principal debtor or debtor. Okay, he is taking loan. Non-fund based loan he is taking. Who is the beneficiary? The person who is taking L&T is the creditor or beneficiary. He is enjoying the guarantee. Okay, these are the 3 parties will be available in guarantee. One is guarantor, our bank, which is giving guarantee or surety we can call it, or our customer we call it as principal debtor, on whose behalf we are giving guarantee. The person who is receiving the guarantee is called as beneficiary or creditor. Okay, these are the names. What are the type of guarantees we have? There are 4 type of guarantees we have. One is financial guarantee. Another is performance guarantee. Third is deferred payment guarantee. Fourth is advanced payment guarantee. Financial guarantee. Financial guarantee means, see, for example, income tax, the sales tax, these people will ask some of our customers. These customer will come to us and say, sir, please give guarantee on behalf of me to income tax or sales tax. This is called financial guarantee. Amount he has to pay, but he is telling we will give guarantee to him. That is called financial guarantee. Performance guarantee, just now I told you, some contract our customer has to execute. For his performance, that if he is not performing that particular contract, we will pay the amount. That is called performance guarantee. Deferred payment guarantee, very, very important. This type of guarantee only generally they will ask. Deferred payment guarantee means party will bring some machinery from Delhi, and he says to Delhi customer, you give me the machinery for 10 lakhs machinery he brought. He will say every month I will pay you 1 lakh in an installment basis. Then if that party agreed, that seller, he will give the machinery and he will tell the party, okay, you can pay me here monthly, no problem, but please give me a guarantee. Then Canara Bank will give guarantee on behalf of our customer. Don't worry, he will pay every month to you. If he is not paying, I will pay the amount to you. Then that customer will dispatch that machinery to our fellow, and he has to pay every month. If he is not paying, we have to pay. That is called deferred payment guarantee. Deferred payment guarantee, installments. If the party is asking, this type of concept is coming, it is called as deferred payment guarantee. Now, last one is advance payment guarantee. What is advance payment guarantee? See, for example, our borrower is giving some item to somebody. Our party told, no, it is a 1 crore machine, you give me 50 lakhs as a advance payment, then only I will start manufacturing this unit. Then that fellow will say, okay, I will give you 50 lakhs, you start manufacturing, but if you are not giving what is my position, so you give me a guarantee for that advance payment. If you are not performing my contract, your bank has to pay me 50 lakhs. Then our party will take 50 lakhs and they will approach to bank and they will say, sir, please give guarantee to him. If I am not sending the machinery, you pay the 50 lakhs to him, no problem. This is called advance payment. For receiving advance, that if the person who is giving advance will ask for a guarantee, that is called advance payment guarantee. Generally, bank guarantees will be given for normally not exceeding 3 years. Okay, not more than 3 years. Okay, branches are not empowered to issue guarantees. Generally, branches will issue guarantees. Only thing is, we should not write any onerous clauses, auto renewal clauses. These clauses we should not write in guarantee. Automatically, this guarantee after 3 years will be renewed. No, it is an onerous clause. We cannot give such type of guarantees to anybody. Okay. Generally, guarantee should not be issued more than 10 years. Very important point. Generally, 3 years only, but any cost, it should not be more than 10 years, irrespective of the fact that party is giving 100%. See, for example, party comes and say, sir, you give me 10 lakhs guarantee, I will give you 10 lakhs deposit. Very safe. Na? If anything happens, that 10 lakhs we can take and we can pay to that party. But still bank says, even though party is giving 100% margin, don't give guarantee for more than 10 years. Only one authority is having power to issue more than 10 years. That person is GM head office. GM HOCAC is only having powers to issue guarantee more than 10 years. And bank guarantee, whenever you are issuing from your branch, 50,000 and above, if you are issuing, 2 authorized signatories has to sign. That means who are having signing power, your officer, your manager, 2 people have to sign guarantee. This is very important for examination point of view. 50,000 and above, 2 people have to sign the guarantee. Okay. I'm coming to almost last slides. Loans. Whenever you are giving guarantee in the name of central government, for central government officers, if you are giving any guarantee, generally we issue guarantee in the name of President of India. When you are issuing guarantee in the name of state government, if state government wants some guarantees, we issue guarantee in the name of governor. Okay, remember these 2 things: President of India for central guarantees, central government guarantee, and for state government, governor. I hope you can remember these things, no problem. And please remember, guarantee means only the borrower has to give deposit. For example, he gives third party deposit. For example, I want a guarantee. I will tell that my wife will give a KDR of 10 lakhs. You give me 5 lakhs guarantee. You should not permit, because our policy says third party deposit shall not be accepted as a cash margin for LC and bank guarantee, irrespective that he is giving 100%. 1 lakh bank guarantee, 2 lakhs deposit is giving. No, I cannot take third party. Only in my name only I should give deposit. Then only you should accept. Okay. And 5 crores and above, always we have to review the status. See, we have given a performance guarantee, for example, on the contract. Whether we will not come to know whether he is performing the contract or not. For that purpose, bank is telling quarterly we have to know the status of the projects, because if he is not doing the contract, we have to pay the amount. That is the reason quarterly. But every guarantee we cannot take. That is the reason bank told 5 crores and above, you have to take a quarterly report, okay, on the performance of that particular item. Now, last slide, guarantees of annual review of term loans. Term loan, if you are giving standalone term loan, you have not given working capital, only term loan you are giving. Term loan means I told you, medium term loan means 1 year to 3 years. Long term means more than 3 years. You have given 3 years term loan. Earlier, we never used to review how it is going on and all. Every month party will pay, account will go smoothly. This is a term loan. OCC means stock statement, everything will be there. Every 1 year we will review all these things. But term loan, there is no review concept. But recently, our bank introduced review of term loan concept. Please remember, these term loans, even though bank has introduced, it is only for circle head sanctions. Only circle head sanctions. That too, only standalone term loan. Only term loan he has given circle head, then only it will be reviewed. For example, term loan, working capital, both they have given circle head. Then working capital will be reviewed after 1 year. That time they will write about term loan, no problem. Otherwise, only term loan he has given. Every year annual review has to be done for circle head sanctions only. In that recently one circular has come for retail lending loans up to 5 crores. Even though circle head has sanctioned, annual review we need not do. Above 5 crores only, circle head has to review for retail lending. All other loans, irrespective of the amount, circle head loans to be reviewed, annual review. Okay. Now, last slide, sharing shares and debentures. See, generally we give finance on shares and debentures, right? Every 3 months, this circular is coming. That's why they may ask you. See, in shares means I told you, we have to finance against only DMAT form only. DMAT form, in the other name, I told you, materialized form also we call. Physical shares, we cannot finance. Against physical shares, we cannot finance. Only DMAT shares. How much we can finance? I told you it is 20 lakhs. If it is an employee stock option scheme, I told you 90% of purchased price, maximum 20 lakhs. If it is an IPO, I told you maximum 10 lakhs. This is with regard to shares, I told you. Now, you have financed some 10 lakhs on shares, for example. After 2 months, after 1 month, the share value has come down to less than 100 rupees you have taken. At the time of finance, you have taken 100. Now the share value is 40 rupees. What is our bank position? That's why bank always says, every fortnightly, you have to review your shares. You see, review the loans against shares at least fortnightly. Every 15 days, we have to see what are the shares we are having and what is the price in the market. Otherwise, the share market, if down means, if it is a drastic fall has come means, party will not take shares, he will leave the shares and he will go. So we will be in trouble. That is the reason we have to take shares every fortnightly. We have to review what is the market rate and how much we have financed, whether our bank is not in trouble. This is the first point, review. After that, if at all it has come down, then we have to recover. For example, we have given 50 lakhs, some 1 lakh. Now share value also came to 1 lakh. Now there is no margin at all. Then we have to tell the party, sir, you have to keep 25% margin on the shares. So you reduce the value, reduce the loan amount, or give some more shares to us. 3 months time we can give to the borrower, but 1 more 3 months can be given, only circle head can given. So total 6 months can be given to cover that values. Okay. This is 3 months and 3 months. Okay. Ratification. This ratification is, see, for example, you need, your manager wants some urgent, he wants to do some proposal. He can take permission from RO, CO, and he can sanction, no problem. That is called sanction over phone, right? But he has taken over phone instruction from RO head. Then within 2 days, your manager has to send the proposal to RO, and RO has to sanction the proposal within 7 days. This is important with regard to ratification. Okay. With this, I'm concluding my session of credit policy. Maybe this is a very tough subject, which I have to tell you. I have no choice, because you have to understand. This is the policy of your bank. As an officer also, you must read this. But I tried my level best to make you understand what is the credit policy of our bank. But once you read twice or thrice or listen to it, then you will understand. Otherwise, it is a very difficult subject to understand. Tomorrow onwards, normal topics only I will give, like housing loan, education loan. This is very much related to your day-to-day banking. MSME I'll take, retail I will take, then maybe agriculture, government sponsored. These are all direct questions, and point by point I can tell you. Okay. But credit policy is a dry subject. I have no choice. I tried to make you more easy. That much only I tried. So with this, I am concluding the session. It is already 9:30. So I told sir that 1.5 hours only I will take. And tomorrow I take some product, MSME or agriculture or retail, whatever it may be. Okay. With this, I'm concluding. Sir, are you there, sir?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm available.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, it is 9:30, sir. I'll conclude the session.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, sir. Previous year question paper, sir. You ping me, Sachinarayan, sir. I'll send you. Some questions I am having previous year, or else I will post in our Telegram group. Okay. Credit policy, I'm not expecting more questions for you, but if at all it touches the credit policy, we must know the credit policy. That is the reason I tried my best. Yeah, I'll post in the group. I'll post the PPT also. Okay. Yeah, PPT, I'll share it now itself. Sir, fraud reporting and all, it are policies. Now I am reading the policies around 30. In the last examination, the mistake which I have done is I have not gone through policies. This entire week, I am reading only policies. So I'm reading the policies now. 10 policies I have read. Another 20 policies are there. Let me read first. Then I will cover all the policies. Maybe Sunday I will cover. Okay. All the policies I will cover. RTGS, debit card, credit card, whatever policies bank has issued. Some 30 policies are there. Check collection policy, dishonor policy, grievance policy. All these things I will cover. Next, we have to wait. I don't have choice because it requires a lot of time of me. I am reading one by one, one by one. Okay, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night. Okay.
Thank you very much.